For Kamira Jennings, living on the south side of Chicago has its ups and downs. She lives in Englewood, one of Chicago's most dangerous neighborhoods. But Kamira says she isn't afraid. Why? People know her.
A lot of people do know me now that I think about it.
She can be seen walking the streets to and from the library and from activity to activity.
Everybody just knows me as like the smart girl, I guess.
And for good reason. She works hard in school, plays sports, volunteers in the community, and most importantly, she'll be the first person in her family to go to college.
I always knew I was going to college ever since I was younger, so I don't think I would never let anything stop me.
Her hard work has paid off, but she says she had a helping hand along the way. Kamira was introduced to Children's Home and Aid in 2015 through the state-funded Comprehensive Community-Based Youth Services Program, or CCBYS for short. The program, provided through Children's Home and Aid, helped almost 7,000 children. But thanks to the budget stalemate in Illinois, the program ran out of money. Jimmy Orange works as the Director of Youth Services at Children's Home and Aid. He says the loss of CCBYS and a similar program called Teen Reach was a hard hit for young people in the area.
It has affected our teens because it literally has put a stop to programming for both of those programs within our agency. And so we've had to literally sit down with the youth and their families and explain to them that we could not provide programming and services for them. So it's pretty much, it's impacted the youth substantially.
Kamira counts herself lucky that she was able to receive help while the program was still operating, but she fears for others who might miss out.
It made me mad when I first found out because my caseworker told me she wouldn't be my caseworker no more because the program was cut. And then she has a lot of other people who don't have their head on it straight like me, so I kind of wonder where they are now. And it's a lot of other kids who can't get help nowadays because the program is cut, so it's really bad.
It's been 19 months and Illinois has yet to pass a balanced budget, the longest any state has ever gone, a record that no one is proud of. The lack of state funding dollars has had devastating effects that have spanned far and wide across the state. Between Republican Governor Bruce Rauner and Democratic Speaker of the House Michael Madigan, the seemingly endless state budget impasse appears to have no end in sight. Illinois has the lowest credit rating of all 50 states. Under Governor Rauner alone, the state's credit rating has been reduced 5 times, and yet another potential downgrade looms large over the Capitol. The Senate was scheduled to vote at the end of January on a proposal that was seen by many as a compromise between the Republicans and Democrats, but the vote has been delayed.
To be the only state in the entire country without a budget, you have to say, what's wrong with this dysfunction? Why can't you all come to some kind of agreement and work out the details? Of course, Governor Rauner's not going to get everything he asked for. Of course, Speaker Madigan is not going to get all. But the two of them butting heads constantly leaves the state in a complete mess.
The compromise proposal includes raising income taxes by 1/3, borrowing $7 million to ease the state's record-setting pile of unpaid bills, legalizing casino gambling in Chicago, and imposing term limits on legislative leaders. There appears to be no clear timeline as to when to expect a budget to be passed.
I think we're going to wait once again until May. It's going to go all the way to the end. I mean, hey, I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong and have everybody say, gosh, we got a plan, we came together, we found compromise.
DePaul political analyst Nick Ketcherobis says there will have to be some compromise before a solution is found.
You've got two very strong personalities in the speaker and the governor, and it seems like at this point none of them really want to completely give, and without one of those two individuals giving something, I don't think we're going to have a budget.
There are about 200 miles separating Springfield from Englewood, but the distance hasn't stopped the indecision in the capital from creating more troubles for those living in the South Side neighborhood.
You cannot ignore that what is going on in the city of Chicago, its violence issue, and the no budget, that there is not a correlation there. There's a problem. There's no money for these programs, whether it's Children Home and Aid, or whether it's after-school programs, whether it's the Catholic Charities, Lutheran Social Service. When all of these have lost funding and can't help those who are the ones who are most in need, where do these folks go? And it just leads to that horrible cycle. It's kind of like lining up all the dominoes, and you take out one or two of those dominoes, and what happens? They all crash.
In 2016, Chicago police reported 82 murders in Englewood, which is almost 11% of the total murders in the city of Chicago last year.
The long-term effects are people don't see a very positive outlook for their life, and they don't have the help, they don't have the crutch to lean on when they need it, and it kind of creates a spiraling effect of negative behavior and negative mindset.
And Kamira says she's seen how this happens firsthand.
There's going to be more people, more kids and youth on the streets, and they're going to look for ways to be accepted, and usually that turns into be some type of gang violence, and that's more violence, more deaths, more funerals. It's horrible.
Only 6% of the over 30,000 people who live in Englewood go on to college, and 29% of the population never finish high school. But Kamira refused to be a part of those statistics.
It's kind of negative around here, but it's some positive. Everybody portrays it negative, but it's a lot of positive things, I think.
And Kamira strives to be part of that positive change. She does that through participating in programs like her high school's Reserve Officers Training Corps, or ROTC program, that's offered through the U.S. Army.
So I'm battalion commander, so I'm at the top.
I've listened to the juniors and the sophomores talk about how they're proud of her and they want to try to follow through her footsteps. And then I tell them, that's what you need to do. You need to pick her brains, try to figure out how she did that, which ways you want to use your avenues, and go that route as well.
Currently, Kamira is a student here at Harper High School, but what's next for her is college.
The 17-year-old senior is looking forward to studying psychology at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She says it was through Children's Home and Aid that she learned about the school and different financial aid options that were available to her, including the Impasse scholarship that provides a 4-year, full tuition ride to students who may be overlooked by the traditional college selection process. Although Kamira says she's nervous to start college, she won't have to worry about paying for it because she earned the Impasse scholarship, and she's thankful for the help Children's Home and Aid has provided.
I really think this, if I wasn't in this program, I would be going to college, but I don't think I would have got this scholarship, and I don't think I would be going to the college I would be going to now.
She has a message for others who look up to her and want to follow in her footsteps.
It gets better, because I thought it wouldn't get better for me a couple times, but I'm fine. In a couple months I'll be gone, so it gets better. As long as they know that it'll get better, as long as they don't give up, everything's gonna be okay.
No matter where she goes in the future, she says she'll never forget where she came from. She hopes to one day give back to the community by opening a mental health practice in Englewood. But for now, her journey is only just beginning as she heads off to college in the fall. For Good Day DePaul In-Depth, I'm Lorraine Taylor.